The following program contains scenes that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Trick or treatment?
We can shut cancer down in one treatment.
We go undercover in Mexico to find a Canadian pushing questionable cures.
How many people know that you could actually clamp a tumor until it's gone?
So many Canadians caught up in the claims.
How could I be so foolish?
And now we're tracking him down.
Mr. Wolf, David Common with CBC Marketplace.
You gotta stop squirming. Gotta stop squirming.
This may be difficult to watch and hear. Touted as an astonishing treatment on a wrist healing from a fracture.
You're not going to believe this, but this is the trauma locked in the tissue. No, I don't know if I can do anymore. We have a piece of breaking.
Targeted at those desperate for help and willing to pay big.
Look at that. Crap. Look at this now.
The man performing it is a Canadian, Daryl Wolf, who sells himself as the Doc of Detox.
I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf.
He has thousands of followers on social media. Some cling to his every word.
And if you do therapeutic vomiting, you might have to do it for 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days. And guess what? It'll save your life.
Believing he can cure just about anything.
We can shut cancer down in one treatment. Now he feels it. You feel me going deep?
Charging for aggressive massage techniques. Watch as he demonstrates here on a facial tumor.
Okay, want to feel here? Look at this. Tell them what you feel now. Feel it. Huh?
It's a huge difference.
Costly supplements and devices, yet none of his treatments are medically approved, considered by many professionals as either useless or dangerous.
Just need to put the button on. Don't worry about the mic.
To see more, we're going deep undercover.
Okay, can you check to make sure? It looks like you're recording.
Wiring up to investigate his clinic in Mexico.
So I would give my father a shot of his own urine. One shot, and I would do that 3 times a day. And you can think this is ego, but I got rid of leukemia in 6 weeks. Untraceable. Just with the 250 milligrams of the CBD, when you do it vaginally or rectally, you can shrink the brain tumor.
And this is the man who runs it, Daryl Wolf.
This is not the first time we've investigated Daryl Wolf.
All my clients have HIV.
In 1994, we busted him for selling a fake HIV cure in Toronto, though he claimed he wasn't.
Hi, Mr. Wolf. Hi, Daryl.
He closed that Toronto business after our episode. But years later...
All right, this is where the entire operation is run out of. His offices, just straight down here, including his treatment rooms.
Inside, our hidden camera team is among many attending one of Wolf's courses.
Hello, Dr. Wolf. How are you, sir?
How are you? Really well, thank you.
Where are you from? Canada.
The hardest and most so much. We'll work on that.
These courses cost up to $10,000.
I came on 2 walking canes.
You came here with 2 walking canes?
Yes, and I was supposed to have a hip replacement. I can dance now.
Yeah.
Now I've got the wiggle.
Wolf now promises to fix body and soul.
Every disease is caused because of a belief. Every healing is because of a belief.
But many come because he promises cures for the seriously ill.
Do you know how many people come down here with cancer? It's like crazy.
The promises lure Nancy Jacobs from California. We meet her and her daughter Faith.
During the pandemic, I noticed that my breast was getting lumpy, and then the breast broke through the skin.
She wants alternative treatment and comes across Wolf online.
It's very convincing.
She spends thousands on supplements and devices, but when that doesn't help, Wolf convinces her to come to Mexico. What did he promise you about Mexico?
He said that he had worked with this. He's worked with breast cancer, That's what I need. I just need the Cellsonic, and this will turn it around.
Let me tell you something. I have a device called a Cellsonic that will actually stop cancer in its heels in one treatment.
Wolf calls it energy medicine technology and claims it can cure just about anything.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. What it's doing is it's literally creating a lightning bolt. Basically, is what it's doing through this little unit. But it's gonna work with literally everything.
Nancy gets treatments, including the Cellsonic, but she says it makes her body worse.
I was in pain, arm pain, like I never had that arm pain before.
The maker of the Cellsonic stands by the device and says multiple practitioners have anecdotally told him it works to cure cancer and other ailments. No experts we've spoken to agree.
Nobody deserves this.
I want him to be stopped. I want him not to do this to other people. I just think he's a terrible person.
Based on what you've seen of Darrell Wolf, what's his MO?
His MO is, I would describe him honestly as more of like a cult leader.
Jacob Shelley is a health law and misinformation expert at Western University.
Someone who's trying to sell an ideology about life, that if you buy into it, you will be healed. And he puts the onus on his clients, his patients. In fact, in one of his videos, he says, people that come to me in wheelchairs, they leave without a wheelchair, but only if they want to.
The only people that come here in a wheelchair will always be in it because they're emotionally crippled. Bring me people that are determined to get out of that wheelchair.
Back in Mexico, the new recruits hear a similar message.
I get out a cancer patient from Congress. Now, if that person doesn't buy into unfinished and loving themselves, they're going to get it back.
He then moves on to his other treatments, like this belly button massager.
So we talked about belly button therapy earlier.
Listen to what he claims it will do.
It kills cancer cells. And guess what? That's a study. I didn't say it.
Are you aware of anything that would support those claims about this device?
There are no claims that I've ever seen around the belly button being a magic touch point for curing cancer. And certainly a wooden stick with a rubber end poked into your belly button is not going to have any efficacy.
We're also told to start using this rubber stick called the clapper every day.
How many people know that you could actually clap a tumor until it's gone?
From what you know, can that take away a tumor?
If it worked, it'd be in hospitals, medical establishments. If there's evidence for something that works, it's unconventional, we would have it in circulation. Can it work? No.
Do you think there's a veneer of legitimacy to any of this?
There's all sorts of truths that are buried in these claims. It's just where he goes with them that's the problem.
As Wolf's course ends for the day, our hidden camera team locates a man here for treatment.
Are you here for Wolf's clinic? Or?
Yeah, but you know what?
Oh, really? So what did the doctor say before you got here then? Did you have?
I don't like doctors near much, but I've never have. But they said I had a blood, so I went to scan. Lump in my bladder. They say it's cancer.
Cancer that Wolf is now treating, and this man believes is working. While he remains a believer, appreciate you making time for this. We connect with a man who no longer is. How is it that you came in contact with Darrell Wolf?
Right. First of all, I actually saw his videos on Facebook.
If you had a fever, give yourself an enema and bring the fever down.
I think he's very persuasive. They've come there and they see him as a savior figure.
John Kitson moved to Mexico to be near Wolf, pays for his courses 3 times, spends close to 20 grand. He's a star student.
I'm here with a really good friend of mine, John Kitson.
Even featured in one of Wolf's videos.
And it's changed my life and it's changed my health, and very grateful for all your support.
But gradually, John becomes disillusioned with his treatments.
There's no references, there's no bibliography. So when I try to look up the academic research, for example, PubMed or any scientific peer-reviewed references to this research. There's nothing there.
John is increasingly disturbed by how Wolf talks about himself.
He would openly boast in the meetings that God worked for him. You know, he would say, God works for me. And I felt that he misled people.
John Kitson tells us about a woman who he says came for a cure and ended up with a problem.
So he claimed that her heart was stuck to her chest. And he went in there pushing down with his elbow. She said that she had to rest at home. She wasn't feeling well. Her heart was beating in a different way.
We can't verify that, but on hidden camera, we're given a similar demonstration.
Leave everyone. It's so emotional.
Do you think that Daryl Wolf has given false hope to people who were dying?
Yes, I do.
People like Nancy. She says it cost her 13 grand. All her money is gone. She goes home to see a doctor. By then, it's too late.
Total regret ever going there. How could I be so foolish and not see the truth?
2 weeks after this interview, Nancy dies. Coming up, confronting Daryl Wolf.
Marketplace, I know you're here.
We try getting answers from the Doc of Detox, but things get dicey.
I don't have to talk to him.
Get more Marketplace. Sign up for our weekly newsletter, cbc.ca/marketplace. This is your Marketplace.
Yeah, there's people in the tent, so that course is going on now.
We're in Mexico, investigating a Canadian who claims he can heal.
And you can think this is ego, but I got rid of leukemia in 6 weeks.
Making big promises and charging big money. On hidden camera, we repeatedly hear that Daryl Wolf, who calls himself a doctor, can cure cancer with his treatments.
A tumor's just a storage shed, okay, for toxic beliefs, toxic chemicals.
He has many believers.
I was basically dead at 50 and I've got another 50 years to go.
We find a former follower in Calgary, Carla Adamarzak.
I can't work because my hands are too shaky and my feet don't work.
She was a nurse. She says before a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis changed everything.
It puts you in a desperate position.
Yeah.
She buys into Wolf's plan, paying for his supplements and devices. She says she follows his instructions.
He said, you can be cured. It's going to take time and money.
Did you believe by taking treatment from him that this would, like, you'd be standing up right now?
Yeah, I'd be walking.
None of it works, so she says she confronts him.
And what did he say to you?
Well, you have to give it time. I did 3 months, and then I did more than 3 months. It doesn't work.
Do you feel duped?
Very much so. Very, very much so. So that's why I was spouting off on Facebook on Dr. Wolf's site saying that, you know, he's a snake oil salesman, and so then he deleted me.
Cut you off.
Yeah, totally.
In Winnipeg, memories of Wolf's last venture into healing.
That was taken probably when he was 27 or 28, I would say.
Sandy Mowatt's brother, Jeff, went to Wolf for HIV treatment in the early 90s. We interviewed her in that episode.
You know, I was concerned that someone had told him that if he did this, that he could be cured. Not great memories. That was a very difficult time. Sorry.
It's hard to watch.
Yes. Yeah. It is very.
Despite Wolf making unproven claims that he could cure HIV with this machine that pumped ozone gas into a person's body, Jeff died not long after, and Marketplace confronted Wolf.
Hi, Daryl, my name's Ross Miller. Can we talk real here?
Soon after, he leaves Ontario.
Now, you might think that having been exposed this way would have driven him away.
One would hope.
This is Dr. Daryl Wolf today.
Let me tell you something. I have a device called a Cellsonic that will actually stop cancer in its heels in one treatment.
So I just don't understand how he's allowed to do this. Like, it boggles my mind. So what do we do? How do we stop him? I don't know. You know, if there's no oversight, I guess he can continue to prey upon people who are desperate or looking for cures for diseases that they have to live with.
Wolf and his team typically express no doubts about the effectiveness of their treatments.
Gonna work with literally everything.
Except now, he's admitting a signature device isn't stopping a tumor on a patient's face.
It's too late to take down for the Cellsonic.
So he now says surgery is needed, and he asks his followers to pay for it.
They probably need about $20,000, $22,000 of expenses.
Wolf still doesn't know we're in Mexico investigating until he gets a tip.
So somebody's out there taking pictures of that are going to come into his hands. Let me tell you something. What we're doing here, you may not believe this. Nothing's going to stop me from doing it.
Wolf claims he has police and political connections in Mexico.
We have the police on our side. We have the military protecting us.
So we now can't be certain about our safety. Our team needs to get out fast.
Mr. Wolf,
When we return,
do you believe you can cure cancer?
we call on the doctor,
Thank you.
There are no
Have a good
cures
afternoon.
for cancer.
and he goes on the defensive. Do you have a story you think Marketplace should investigate next? Tell us all about it on email, Twitter, and Facebook. This is your Marketplace. We're investigating a Canadian who claims he can cure cancer.
And baking soda can actually turn around cancer.
At his clinic in Mexico. But Daryl Wolf now says he knows he's being watched.
Let's check your phone. We're gonna leave.
Our team gets out safely. But before we leave Mexico, we're calling up the man who calls himself doctor.
Good morning, Dr. Peacock. Can I help you?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Wolf. I am a journalist with CBC Television, the program Marketplace. I'm calling because we've been speaking to a number of your past clients who've raised some concerns with us about the treatment that you've been doing on them. We're actually in Ixtapa and wonder if you would be willing to do an interview with us. I guess that's his answer.
He doesn't want to talk to us.
I am not going to be on this planet unless I talk my truth.
But moments later, it's clear he wants to talk only to his followers.
So the guy in Marketplace calls me and goes, yes, hi. We just want you to know that we're here for the day. And we've been told that you've been hurting people and ripping people off for their money.
Appearing for more than an hour-long rant on a Facebook live stream.
I'm not going to talk to him. I just hung up. I don't have to talk to him. Most people, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I didn't do anything wrong. Is everybody satisfied with our work? No. Go ahead. Let them strip me of everything. Let them take me down. Now they're gonna have to cut my tongue out. And maybe I can move on to a higher level like Jesus Christ. Marketplace, I know you're here. So I'd like you to know that that is your interview.
After leaving Mexico, we call and email Wolf repeatedly. He never responds. Weeks later, we discover Wolf has come to Canada. Okay, so we're in Barrie, Ontario, because we've learned Wolf is actually doing a presentation, a speech here just down the road. We're going to see if he wants to talk today.
Wait till he come out.
He's gonna park somewhere really close.
The moment he parks, they're parking in the front. Mr. Wolf, David Common with CBC Marketplace. How are you today? Sir, we've been trying to reach you. I think as you know, there are many claims that you've made about being able to cure cancer. And
Never have.
What do you say to people who say that you...
There is no cure for cancer.
We've recorded you inside your tent on your Facebook Lives. We've recorded you repeatedly claiming that you can cure
I've never
cancer.
said that. Sorry.
You're not welcome.
You're not welcome.
What do you say to those people who've died after spending thousands of dollars, sir?
There is nobody that has with us.
People have died.
No, they haven't.
We've shared names with you of people who've died after coming to you and
Please,
spending
go away,
large amounts
go
of
away.
money.
It's not true.
Do you believe you can cure
It'll all
cancer?
come out. Nobody can.
Then why do you claim that you're
I
able
don't.
to?
I don't. Go watch my stuff. Watch my show.
We have. In fact, after our investigation, YouTube removed more than 10 of Wolf's videos for misinformation, and Facebook already had him on notice. You call yourself a doctor. Where does the doctor come from?
I have a doctorate in natural medicine. Why don't you go find out?
We can't find any proof he has a recognized PhD.
I don't want to talk to you. Respect that. Now go.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
There are no
Have a good
cures
afternoon.
for cancer.
But that's not what you've said.
Whatever.
Okay, that's very different from what he's told a lot of people and that we've recorded on camera, but that's his perspective. If he was right here in the room, what would you say to him?
I can't say that on TV.
Well, give me the PG version of it.
You're a liar, a cheat, and good thing you live in Mexico now, because we don't want you in Canada.